All right, let's get right into it. For years, we were told the future of computing meant strapping this giant, heavy headset to your face. Well, forget that. The game has completely changed. We are now deep in the era of everyday smart glasses. Tech that looks like high fashion, but is secretly hiding a cybernetic world inside. So today, we're doing a hardcore debugging session. We're putting the reigning champion, the Ray-Ban Meta, on the autopsy table. Is it still worth the hype, or is it already obsolete?
And this quote? This is the golden rule right here. It's the entire design philosophy that's pushing us away from those bulky, isolating headsets. You see, the goal isn't just to replace your monitor anymore. It's to create technology that's so seamless, so perfectly integrated into your life that you literally forget it's even there. It becomes invisible.
And this just spells out the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got these heavy VR headsets that totally cut you off from the world and give you actual neck fatigue. But on the other, you have smart glasses that weigh less than 50 grams. They're engineered to just overlay an invisible layer of data onto your everyday life. It's an absolute masterpiece of miniaturization, cramming cameras, speakers, and processors into a frame that's barely any thicker than a normal pair of Wayfarers. Which, of course, brings us to the current king of the Silicon Throne, the Ray-Ban Meta. And Mark Zuckerberg's real masterstroke here wasn't trying to build the tech from scratch. No, it was partnering with the global eyewear giant EssilorLuxottica. What came out of it is a device that's 100% fashion first and a gadget second. But okay, let's strip away all the slick marketing and debug its source code.
So, let's start with the camera. Tucked away in that frame is a 12-megapixel sensor. Now, that might not sound like a huge number, but it is perfectly calibrated for incredible point-of-view video that exactly mirrors your natural vision. Meta also threw in some seriously aggressive image stabilization. And for privacy, this is brilliant. There's a high-luminance LED that's hardwired directly to the camera's power. It's a simple, unhackable way to stop any kind of stealth recording.
All right, time to run the hardware autopsy. As you can see in this matrix, the processor is the Qualcomm AR1 Gen 1. It's super capable, but as we're about to find out, it has a serious tendency to overheat. The camera is great for social media, but really struggles in low light. The audio is excellent, but then you look at the storage, 32 gigs, and it's not expandable. For anyone who's actually creating a lot of content, that is a critical bottleneck.
But really, the camera is just the eye. The real brain is the multimodal AI. And this is where the glasses stop being just a camera and become an intelligence terminal. You can literally look at a menu in another language and say, "Hey Meta, translate this," and it whispers the translation right into your ear. It can identify plants on a hike or tell you the history of a building you're looking at. This is what transforms the device from a simple camera into a true intelligence terminal.
But all that power comes at a pretty severe physical cost. All that visual processing puts a massive load on the chip, and after just 15 minutes of continuous AI use, the temple of the frame heats up a lot. This forces the system to slow way down, what we call thermal throttling, just to prevent a hardware meltdown. And this, right here, is where that perfect facade starts to crack. So you've got this nearly $400 gadget. What do you think the maximum length of video you can record at one time is? It's 3 minutes. That's it. For a vlogger, for a journalist, for anyone trying to capture a live event, this limitation turns what could be a professional tool into a casual Instagram toy.
And the bad news just keeps coming. Here's the next system failure: the battery life. Under what they call mixed use, taking some photos, asking the AI a few questions, listening to music, the entire system will experience a total power collapse in under 4 hours. It's not an everyday device if it can't even get you through a standard workday.
So why these crippling limits? Well, it really boils down to two things. That 3-minute video cap? It's basically an emergency thermal break to stop the processor from overheating and literally burning the side of your head. And the super short battery life? That's just an unforgivable design flaw for a device that's supposed to be worn all day long.
So, while Silicon Valley was busy trying to patch its thermal problems, hardware labs over in Shenzhen were analyzing these exact bottlenecks. And they didn't just decide to compete. They deployed 2 ruthless hardware assassins specifically engineered to completely redefine the market.
First up, the Xiaomi smart glasses. This comparison table tells you the entire story. Just look at the vital specs. Meta's video limit, 3 minutes. Xiaomi's, 45 minutes. And the battery life? Meta's 4 hours gets absolutely demolished by Xiaomi's 8.6. And then the price, a strategic strike at $278, designed to completely undercut Meta's hold on the market.
So how in the world did Xiaomi more than double the battery life without making the glasses any thicker? Well,
As this chart shows, the integrated next-gen solid-state microbatteries, which drastically increases the energy density. This isn't just a small improvement, we're talking about a generational leap that frees you from that constant battery anxiety that just cripples the Meta.
But right here, this is Xiaomi's fatal strike. 45 minutes of continuous recording. They designed this incredible internal graphene heat dissipation system, which just shatters Meta's absurd 3-minute limit. This one upgrade, all by itself, transforms the Xiaomi glasses into the ultimate primary weapon for vloggers and streamers.
Now, while Xiaomi was focused on the hardware, our second challenger, Rocket, went after the software brain. Their goal was simple: break Meta's closed ecosystem and completely bypass Zuckerberg's monopoly on AI.
And this slide really shows you the freedom of Rocket's open system. It gives you root-level authority to choose your glasses' neural brain. So as you can see, you can switch to the GPT-5 API for complex coding and then immediately activate an open-source model like DeepSeek for hyper-fast, uncensored live translation. This isn't a gimmick. It means you are never, ever locked into a single AI's biases or limitations. This turns an accessory into a fully customizable, wearable workstation.
But, all these glasses share one big flaw. They're all audio-first interfaces. The next evolutionary step isn't about hearing an AI whisper in your ear. It's about seeing the data overlaid on your reality. And this is where head-up displays, or HUDs, enter the battlefield.
You can imagine embedding a display into a lens without making you look like a cyborg is a total engineering nightmare. The solution is pretty wild. A microscopic projector about the size of a grain of rice fires light into something called an optical waveguide on the lens. This tech then bends the light and shoots it directly into your retina, making notifications and navigation arrows just float like holograms in the real world. But let's be clear. We are strictly in the beta phase of this hardware. The resolution is still pretty low, the holograms are really hard to read in direct sunlight, and there's this weird physiological bug called convergence accommodation conflict. Basically, it's when your eyes get confused focusing on a hologram up close and the real world far away, and it can cause some serious eye fatigue. Still, this is the tech that signals the inevitable extinction of the smartphone screen.
Okay, so we get to the most critical question. Where should you actually put your money? Let's recalibrate and debug the ultimate purchasing logic based on who you are and what you do.
If you are a content creator, a vlogger, or a life vlogger, the choice is crystal clear. Meta's 3-minute limit is a trap. The Xiaomi smart glasses with their 45-minute continuous recording time and that massive battery are the most hardcore, unbeatable weapon in your arsenal, period.
Now, if you're a coder, a trader, or really anyone who needs maximum flexibility, getting locked into Meta's ecosystem is a huge strategic error. The Rocket AI glasses are your command center. They give you that root-level authority to plug the AI brain of your choice directly into your auditory cortex.
But for casual users, the ones who prioritize style above all else, this territory still belongs to the Ray-Ban Meta. Let's be honest, the camouflage is perfect, the build quality is flawless, and the integration with Instagram and WhatsApp is totally seamless. For the general public, it does remain the safest, most refined choice.
So, the autopsy is complete, and the verdict is clear. The era of looking down at glowing rectangles in our hands is terminating. We're reclaiming our natural line of sight, and the demand is for our digital and physical worlds to finally sync up. Meta might have found the formula, but the competition is already patching its fatal flaws. The Matrix is no longer in your pocket, it's on your face. Are you ready?